Good evening, good evening, good evening. This is Patrick Dankwa from Next Up in the Spotlight. I hope everyone is doing good this evening, this Wednesday evening. We have a special guest with us today, Miss Livia Duguay. Livia, how are you doing today?
I'm doing very well.
Fantastic, fantastic. I'm so glad that you can make time to be here. How's your day been? Keeping it very casual. How's your Wednesday?
Well, really, really busy. My son just got back from Berlin. I went to pick him up, and I was in a little rush just before I come on the podcast with you. But now I'm doing well.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, we're gonna start slow and then we'll pick
So,
it up with the heavy stuff. So you have
all
time.
right, all
I'm
right,
glad to hear that. But
bring it on.
bringing it on. So here on Next Up in the Spotlight, what we do for those that don't know, we interview entrepreneurs, creators, performers, service providers, just anyone who's doing their thing. We talk about their journey. We talk about their active service, and we talk about just kind of how they're giving back to the community, right? I think it's so important, especially during times like this, for us to get that message across. Today I have a special guest, Miss Livia Duguay. She's a six-figure high achiever. She works with creators, entrepreneurs. She's a speaker. She's a coach. She's really doing phenomenal things. She's helping people break past their barriers, really have the life that they want, really have the jobs and the careers that they want. She's really teaching people to turn their fantasies into reality. So we have her here today talking about how she does that, who she serves, and hopefully we can walk away with some gems and some tips. So Livia, thank you for joining us today.
My pleasure. My pleasure.
Fantastic. So Livia, I want to get right into it. I love what you do, but for those that don't know, maybe you can give us a little bit background as to who you are and what you do.
Okay, so oh my God, I was not expecting this question. Okay,
He's like,
so
who am I?
I help entrepreneurs
Yes.
and individuals and artists to go from where they are to where they want to go. So I work with people who feel that they've been stuck in a hamster wheel for too long.
Right.
They've been trying and to do it on their own, and they're always finishing the run at the same place. They never seem to be able to get to this next level. So I help these people to get to the next level. I teach them how to. It's going to sound a little intellectual, but I'm not intellectual at all. I help people to master their mind and to understand the laws of nature. Okay. And once you do understand that, then you can create anything you want, because we are so powerful. It's unbelievable how powerful we are and how little we know about it.
Yes. No, I love that. I love that. And for me, part of the reason why this is so special to have you on is, as an entrepreneur, as someone who comes from the creative field as well as an artist, sometimes you can be your biggest critic. Sometimes you can get caught in this negative thinking. And I think that applies for a lot of like the guests and people I work with as well. Like whether you're an entrepreneur, whether it's day-to-day life, sometimes we get stuck in that hamster wheel. We want to move forward, but we're fixating on the negativity. Can you talk to me a little bit about that piece, like why that's happening and what that looks like?
Well, okay. So it's not that we're dwelling in negativity. It's that we've been conditioned. Everybody has been conditioned by their environment. Everybody. Like you arrive on this planet and you look what is going on around, and that's the truth. That is how you start thinking. That is the perception you start having, the judgment you start having, the way people are supposed to live, what is good, what is bad. All of this comes, and most of it, I'd say 99.99% of your beliefs come as well from your environment.
Okay.
So it's the way you perceive things that makes you be negative or positive. Gotcha. So how can I say that? It's just that you're literally programmed to think and behave in a certain way. Neuroscience has stated that 96 to 98% of everything you're doing on a daily basis, you're doing it without conscious awareness. So that means, Patrick, I drop you, let's say New York, in a very short period of time, you would recreate the same thing. Same kind of life, same kind of friends, same kind of joy, same kind of challenges, same kind of income, same kind. You will in a very short period of time, you would recreate what you've already what you're already living here in Toronto.
Right.
So we're like a species that is really dwelled. We have this mental programming that takes us always thinking the same way,
right,
making the same behaviors without even us being conscious. So I wouldn't say that sometimes you dwell on the negative and sometimes you dwell on the positive. I'd say you're either programmed for one or the other.
Right.
The great thing here is that we are the only species on this planet that can choose to accept, ignore, or reject a thought.
Right.
So when you're giving attention to a thought, you're giving energy to it. So it takes more and more, it tends to grow and to take more and more space in your mental universe and
right.
in the way you're feeling and in the way you're behaving.
Right.
So the whole thing here is understanding that you can choose where you're putting your attention.
Absolutely. And no,
I've been so like a teacher.
Yeah. You know what? And I know if we could do it in French, but I can't speak French.
Yeah.
I think English is great. But you know what? You said something that I think resonates, and I feel like sometimes we don't even realize. I talk about it as well. That conditioning piece that comes down, it can be generational, it can be institutional, it can be from religion, it can be from our family and culture. It's your environment, right?
Yeah. Everything that is in your environment.
Right. Yeah. And so like you said, you could take someone from one environment, whether it's entrepreneurship, creative, etc. You plop them somewhere else. They're recreating the same problems, the same income. How then do we get one to even identify, like, how do I have, like, I have a problem, I'm stuck in this hamster wheel, because they just may think life is, this is what I deserve. This is my life. How do we get one to acknowledge and then start to shift?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you know, Dr. Bruce Lipton, who is the father of the epigenetic science, says that you become what you think about. All right. So if you keep thinking that you cannot achieve something, you will never be able to achieve it.
Okay.
So when you feel that you're stuck somewhere, what we tend to do is always define ourselves from our memories of the past.
Okay.
The experiences that we lived in the past. So you'll see people saying, "Oh no, you know, I'm a very shy person. I cannot do that. This is out of my league. Right. This is too difficult for me. Only these special people do this and that." Mm-hmm. Actually, not.
Right.
It's just that they're programmed in a different manner. Gotcha. So if you feel that you're always stuck, first of all, ask yourself, do you know where you want to go? Do you have a vision of what you want to achieve in the next few years? I mean, most people don't even know what they want. They spend more time preparing for Christmas than trying to sit down, calm this mental chaos, and just ask themselves, what do I want? What do I really, really want?
And do people even ask
my vision for myself of the future? Right. Not how can I rearrange what is already there? How can I enhance what is already there? How can I do better with what I've got? No, you need to start. The starting point should always be, what do I want?
Right.
And what you want is always the right thing. So you need to know that an idea, a thought, is like an energy that you synchronize. If the thought comes to you, it means you're able to achieve it. If you wouldn't be able to achieve this desire you've got, or this thought of yourself being, let's say, a movie star, or dancing on Broadway, or singing in these amazing theater, if you wouldn't be able to achieve it, it wouldn't even come into your mind. You wouldn't even think about it.
I love that. I really do. Can you talk about, because I know, and I want to keep going with that, because I want people to understand that these thoughts are not random. They're there. There's a reason behind why you have that thought. Now, can you manifest it into something? And I know you use a lot of maybe the laws of attraction and other things. Can you explain a bit of kind of what techniques that you use, and then go back into that, just so people can understand?
So there's not one technique. It's, you need to understand yourself, and you need to understand this planet you're living on has many laws. They're called laws of nature or laws of the universe.
Right.
And once you understand how to work with them, then you can make things happen for you. Okay? So your thoughts create your feelings. So your thoughts enhance your feelings. Okay? Feelings are words that we invented to define in which frequency your body was. Okay? So your body is emitting frequency 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. And I'm not talking from an angel telling me or channeling somebody or taking a tarot card. I'm talking science here. Right. All the scientists are unanimous about this. Right. Your body is always emitting frequencies.
Okay.
When you change emotion, the frequency changes. Okay? Any body that creates frequency creates around it an electromagnetic field that can attract only people, events, circumstances that are in alignment with the vibration you're in. Okay, so since I just told you that 96 to 98% of your living days,
right,
you don't even think. You're on an autopilot.
Yes. Okay.
So you're doing things and you're having all these thoughts, this flow of thought that is a pattern of thoughts that you've got. All right.
Right.
It puts you in this kind of emotion. It could be great emotion. It could be anxiety, but you're always playing in the same type of emotion. Okay. Dr. Joe Dispenza says that after the age of 35, people can be really predictable if they don't learn how to change their thought patterns.
Gotcha.
Why? Because you're like wired
right
to think and behave in a certain way.
Okay.
So that means you're always sending the same kind of frequency out. All right.
Okay.
So you're always attracting the same kind of people, the same kind of event, the same kind of circumstances. Right.
Okay.
And the same kind of ideas. Okay, so I don't know who's listening to us, if they have any basis in anything, but I'll give you an example. Maybe it's going to be
give an example
for some. Right. When I take my cell phone, when I take my cell phone, no, because
I saw,
and I'm dialing a phone number. I'm dialing a phone number, let's say, to someone in China. I don't see anything coming out of my phone. I don't see a frequency getting out of my phone, but there's a frequency that came out of my phone and that went to synchronize a phone in China right away. It's not, I'm calling in China, it's going to take 5 minutes because the wave has to travel. It gets to this other phone right away. Right away in China, somebody picks up the phone and we talk live, right? So I'm making one mistake when I'm dialing. I'm making one mistake with the number,
yes,
and I won't synchronize the right cell phone.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Your body emits frequency that are way, way, way more powerful than what your computer or your cell phone can be emitting.
Mm.
So you can be attracting to you, all right, the right people, the right circumstances, and the right events to bring your thoughts. It's called the law of perpetual transmutation of energy. So it's bringing your thoughts from the thought into this world through your actions. Right. It's not just manifesting something. It's not just hoping for it, thinking about it, and then you open your eyes and it pops into your living room. You've got, I just thought about a red bike. The red bike is there. My God, how did I do that? No, it doesn't work like that.
Right.
You have to put yourself in the frequency of the reality you want to get in.
Yes.
So that can seem like a little far-fetched. So first you need to know where you want to go, and then you need to start defining yourself from your vision of the future.
Yes.
So I'll give an example. I remember because Patrick interviewed me before having me on his podcast. Yes, I did. And I remember when I interviewed you, I said, let's say you take an actress, okay? Right. and she wants to become a movie star. She wants to be like really big, and she wants to make it in LA and be one of the top of her heart. And she wants to be in a commercial, in the commercial, it comes in French, cinema, movies. Okay.
Yes.
So she cannot start from where she's at. So let's say that it's this girl. She's not having so many contracts. Things are getting a little hard. She has a hard time paying her rent. That she has no audition. She doesn't know how the money's going to be coming in. And then she gets an audition. If she goes or let's go with a party. Okay. So she has a party where there's going to be great directors, great producers and stuff like that, right? Yeah. And she walks in the party a little shy, and she doesn't know so much, and she looks at the ground, and nobody notices her. It will never happen. You need to become this assumed actress, this girl you're seeing that is going to be able to take a part and to lead it until the end. And it's going to be, and she's going to be able to take on the pressure and to take on everything that goes with the star system. You need to become this person before you can have it.
I love that.
And it's not true, this thing that, somebody was lost in the street and suddenly a producer find this person and they became a star. No. The attitude was already there.
Right.
The energy was there.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. No, I love that because I like how you're saying you have to become it before you can manifest it, before you can bring it into your space. And I also like that you really touched on the point that it's not that you just, doing like this and then it just pops into your living room, right? There is a process. And I talk to a lot of people too. Sometimes they talk about their energy, and maybe you can touch on this too, because they want this, but their energy it doesn't reflect it. But they want it, but the energy doesn't reflect it.
Okay, so it's exactly the example I gave you.
Right.
So there's this girl, she wants to be a star, and she's always like, okay, I don't know, but I'm not like that, and I'm so shy, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do that in front of a camera. There's so many people watching. And if somebody just walks in and say, "Yay, hi, I'm here. How are you doing?"
Right.
I'm going to give you what is needed. This person projects herself. She's in alignment with what she wants. So when you know what you want, you need to align yourself. You need to become the person who's able to achieve what you want.
Yeah.
So the way we've been conditioned is that you do, then you're going to get something, and then you're going to be. It's the opposite way around.
That's what we've been taught, though. You're right. We do, we get, and then we become. And you're saying, sorry?
Yeah, well, yeah. So what I'm saying is that when you know how to work in a certain way, you stop struggling and you stop dwelling and you stop fighting and you stop putting yourself in these kind of situation where you're just so exhausted. Right. You become. So you need to have this vision of the future. Okay, I want to be a star. I'm going to start living as if I was a star. I'm going to start breathing as if I was a star. I'm going to start talking and feeling. Why? Because I have this higher mental faculty that is called imagination.
Right.
And your imagination can take you wherever you want. You can go into the world of your imagination and imagine yourself being already or having achieved already what you always wanted to achieve. And your body is going to feel it as if it was happening right now. Why? Because in your imagination, the time frame is vertical. So you see it, with your conscious mind, I'll give you an example.
Yeah, of course.
Let's say that they did research. They did research with people that they would ask them to talk about something that had really traumatized them. So people are really good in that. So some people are going to dwell on one thing that traumatized them like 20 years ago, and they're gonna define their whole personality about one event that happened 20 years ago.
Right.
Why? Because they keep reliving it.
Right.
They keep talking about it. And each time you talk about it, there's images that comes back, and the body starts, your muscles starts being tense, your heartbeat starts going faster, you start to be warm, you don't feel good, you feel anxious. Why? You're reliving it over and over and over and over and over again.
Yes.
So why not use your imagination for something that is going to bring you in a greater space?
Yes.
For something that is going to take you where you want to go, that is going to make you feel just so good.
Absolutely.
And the way you feel is as a huge impact on how you'll be behaving. And it's your electromagnetic signature. It's what you're sending out to the world.
Okay.
The first thing that people see when you're walking in a restaurant and any place, when you arrive somewhere, the first thing they see, it's your energy. It's the first thing they see. So you can see someone, you can be sitting in a coffee shop and look at people walking inside, and you can say, okay, this person, oh, I think this person is a boss. Oh, he's doing very well. I'm sure of that. Oh, she doesn't look good. She looks a little depressed. Oh, she's the kind of girl who always have these men that are really harsh on them and blah, blah, blah. You can say so much just with the energy. What is your energy? Your energy is what you're feeling. So you need to feel,
yes,
be in alignment with the person that can achieve what it is you want.
Right.
It's a question of feeling. And often people are going to tell me, yes, but I don't have the choice. I have all these thoughts that are coming into my mind.
Right.
You have another higher faculty that we're the only living creatures known till today that has this higher faculty. It's called reason. You can say, okay, what am I thinking about? Oh, I'm thinking about what this colleague at work said and how obsessed and how it made me feel and what I should have answered back. And
right.
So you're giving attention to thoughts that are not serving you and they're not serving the world. These thoughts put you in this heaviness, in this kind of very low energy.
Right.
And that's what you're sending out. What do you think you're going to be attracting? What do you think you'll be attracting? You'll be attracting back circumstances, people, Evan, that are going to be in alignment
with that,
with the way you feel.
Exactly. But I feel like people, again, and I'm not speaking for everyone, people who are watching or see this, but I feel like a lot of people are almost like asleep and don't see it. Maybe asleep is not the wrong word, like just in a state of not being aware. So even when we say this sometimes, it just, well, I'm not, like, I've spoken to someone, I'm like, you really try to look at it differently. The thoughts that you're currently having are not serving you. Like, well, I can't just be happy, Patrick. I just can't. This is happening still. So what do you expect me to do? And I'm like, well, try to, but I feel like almost I'm speaking a different language.
No, you know what? It's ignorance. So many people are in this hypnotic cycle and they're just going by how they've been conditioned, how they've been encoded.
Of course,
so they're encoded to go to work, see the same colleagues, do the same task, hurry up back home, go get the kids, feed the kids, do the homeworks, put the kids to bed, watch TV, go back to bed. Their life is a series of habits that they never questioned.
Yes.
And then they feel this emptiness and they feel that they don't feel fulfilled and they feel that they're not using their full potential.
Of course.
So what is happening, and you can go on YouTube and watch what Dr. Bruce Lipton is doing. But what he's saying is that it is proven now. It is scientifically proven that somebody who starts repeating to themselves, "I'm happy, I'm happy, I'm happy, I'm happy, I'm happy, I'm happy," you're programming your subconscious mind. Your subconscious mind is where all your conditioning is.
Of course.
You are not fixing something. You are creating a new conditioning. And believe it or not, after a while, this person is going to be happy.
Yes, I love that.
It's just that people are not ready to do the work. But if you're ready to do the work, it's amazing how your life can change just like that.
Yes, I love that. And that's a perfect transition. And I had a post on that today. Like, are you ready to do the work? Are you ready to receive? Are you ready to acquire it? Because even with entrepreneurship and artists, but I think it applies to everyone. A lot of people feel like work has to be difficult. Work has to be, you kind of mentioned it as well. And for the longest time, I'm going to be honest with you, Livia, for the longest time, I subscribed to the belief that life is not easy. Everything has to be difficult, whether it's a relationship, it's entrepreneurship, it's acquiring money. I have to work hard and I have to suffer in order to get there. There's no other way, right? And even I'm swimming upstream. It's almost like if I wasn't swimming upstream, I would feel like, no, it'd have to be hard. Let me overwork. Let me fixate on this because that's what I'm supposed to do.
It's an addiction.
Right. And I wanted you to talk about that and elaborate on that, because I feel like so many of us get stuck there. And just like maybe you can speak to the concept of things being easy, because I want to say once, I was working with you and you had some success and I'm like, wow, that was great. You did really, hard work. And you're like, Patrick, it was anything but.
So that time I had a $75,000 month.
I remember.
And I never worked so little. All my life, I was trained like you. I was conditioned like you, that we need to push and work hard and harder. And we need to do more. And when we think we've done enough, we can do a little bit more and then a little bit more.
Right.
So once you understand the laws of nature, these are laws that apply to everyone on the planet. So I'll give you an example with another law that is really obvious. It's the law of gravity. All right. When you're walking on the roof of a building, when you get to the end, you fall down. You're not somebody's thrown to the left and the other one is down in front and the other one just falls. And one day you go right and one day you go left. It's always the same thing for everybody, 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. It applies the same. So it's a law. Okay, so we're talking about laws. There's a law that is called the law of vibration. I spoke about it a few minutes ago.
Yes, you did, yeah.
The law of vibration, the way your body vibrates, so your body is always emitting energy, vibration. The way it vibrates goes with the way you feel, right? So if it's hard and you need to struggle and you need to push and it's not enough, like you're not bleeding enough. You slept 8 hours yesterday. What is this? Are you an entrepreneur, man? What are you doing?
Right.
You're not working 100 hours a week. What are you doing?
Right.
It can be so easy. You need to align yourself. You need to become first. You need to be in this state of mind, in this feeling of abundance, of joy. And what I'm often saying is that prosperity is a frequency. And I saw a quote from Richard Branson that I just loved. He was saying, people think that I'm successful because I'm happy because I'm successful. Actually, it's the opposite way around.
Yes.
I'm successful because I'm happy.
Yes.
Okay, so when you're happy, when you feel good, when you're aligned, you make great decisions. You're more efficient. You're more productive. Yeah. It takes you less time to achieve a task.
Yes.
You tune in the right ideas. Okay, so this is going to sound a little far-fetched again for people who are not never heard about the laws of nature.
Go with it. I'm with you, Livia. Go.
So when you align yourself with what you want, and you're seeing yourself having already achieved what you want, you're vibrating. You're on the frequency of the reality you want to walk in. All right. So you start having a new flow of thoughts, and these thoughts are the right ones. So I'll give you an example.
Yes, please go ahead.
When I started my journey as a coach, I remember asking myself, so how can I reach more people? And it was before COVID, of course. So I said, I'm going to do seminars.
Okay.
So this was an intuition. Okay. So an intuition is something you tap in.
Yes.
That is an idea you tap in that is going to propel you towards what you want, towards your goal. Then you've got your paradigm. So what are your paradigms? It's all this conditioning. It's your encoding. Okay. So I got the idea. I want to make a seminar.
Mm.
Then a few hours later, all these other little voice came in and they were saying, are you sure you want to make a seminar?
I'm going to do it.
Are you really going to rent a room in a hotel and you don't know if people are going to come? What if nobody comes? What if people don't want to spend 2 hours after their working days to hear you talk? Mm-hmm. You know? Mm-hmm. So I was like doubting, being doubtful and worrying and getting in fear. What was going on? My conditioning was doing its job. Okay. Right. My old story, my old record was going on. Right. But I knew what was going on. So that's the difference between your intuition and your paradigms. So your paradigms are going to do everything to keep you where you're at. Mm-hmm. So you've got this feeling that you need to go further, and then you need to think about it. You need to analyze the whole thing, what's going on. Your conditioning is going to overlap what you're supposed to do, because I did receive the right idea. The right idea was get out there and do a seminar. So I said, okay, I'm doing a seminar. Mm-hmm. So every morning I was waking up. I had to do my marketing plan. I had to invite people. I had to prepare the seminar. And I was going crazy. My world was going crazy. My heart was beating so fast. And I felt I wouldn't be able to do it. I had two choices.
Right.
I either let all this flow of thought take care of myself. Right. And I would sit down and look at the wall and then say, I cannot do it. I cannot do it. It's not part of me. I don't feel it. My feelings are telling me not to do it, which is completely ridiculous.
Right.
Or I had to put in practice what I'm teaching. Right. So I said, okay, I don't want to think about why it wouldn't work. I want to think why it will work.
Right.
So at that time, I was visualizing myself being in front of the stage.
Right.
And seeing all these people and seeing the light coming in my face, and I would see them, and I would feel that the right words are coming to me, and these people are ready to hear what I've got to say. And at the moment, I was just completely feeling it.
Yes.
I was opening my eyes and asking myself, okay, what's the first step I need to do?
Right.
And from this mindset, from this space, from this energetical feeling, mm-hmm. I started to create. Okay. So I was saying, okay, I'm gonna do a campaign on Facebook, and I'm gonna do this and that and this, and I'm gonna call this person, and everything was just, as soon as I was taking action, I was aligned with what I want, with the girl who could achieve the task. Then I started to attract the right people, the right circumstances. If I would have acted from a space where I felt really scared and not able to achieve it or not good enough, I could have done the exact same marketing campaign and it wouldn't have worked.
Right.
I'm telling you, it wouldn't have worked.
Yes. No,
and I can give you other examples of that I attracted in my life, people that had exactly the energy that I had when I was talking to at that time of my life, and I doing the exact same thing at another period of my life, mm-hmm. exact same thing. I attracted just what I needed. There's no luck. There's no coincidence.
I love that you said that.
It doesn't exist.
Yes.
To understand the laws, you need to put yourself in the frequency of the reality you want to be achieving. You need to become first. Mm. So becoming is not thinking about the past. It's picturing yourself in the future. It's seeing yourself having already achieved the task. Then from that state, from that mindset, you start taking action. And the road is going to be shown while you're taking action. It's not waiting in your living room that somebody knocks on your door. That's not what it is.
Right.
Okay.
I love that. Wow, Livia.
Yeah. Okay.
I love that. When the student is ready, the teacher will appear,
Yeah, exactly.
But what you said about inspired action, imperfect action is exactly it. Like we have to become aligned and start taking those steps in the right direction. And that terror barrier that you talked about, where people get to that place and that fear, I feel like that's the difference between true alignment and becoming what you want, and kind of going back to your past behavior and what you've always done in the past, right? So thank you for sharing that. Thank you for the comments too. If anyone has any questions, Angela, I please appreciate your comments as well. Feel free to ask Livia. But Livia, I want to transition a bit. I wanted you to kind of we talked about the demographic that you work with. Maybe you can start talking about how you help them, what the challenges look like when they see you, how you help them, and we can start to tie everything up together.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So the first, I'm working with a blueprint that has been built by Bob Proctor for me. Bob Proctor is one of the top coaches when it comes to laws of natures, when it comes to human behaviors, when it comes to success, when it comes to mastering your mind, when it comes to understanding what is a paradigm, what is the conscious, what is the subconscious. So I work with that. I'm teaching that to people I work with. So the first thing we always do is set a North Star.
Right.
Set a vision on the long term, and just feel free, because everything is possible. This is so amazing, Patrick. Everything is possible. Creation is finished. So you need to dive into your imagination and ask yourself, what do I want? And then just I let go your imagination.
Right.
Nobody's gonna put you down or laugh at you or say things that you think. Just dive into your imagination. Some people don't even give themselves the opportunity to freely dive into their imagination. So it's the vision, and from the vision, what we're doing, we're taking a bite that I call a goal. Okay. And that's the goal we're going to go for while we're working. So then we start talking about what I call the knowing doing gap. So the knowing doing gap is, it's not because you know what you've got to do. It doesn't mean that you will do what needs to be done to get the results that you want.
Absolutely.
So often, and you train people. Often people know what they've got to do.
Right.
They want to get in shape. They know what they've got to do. They want to lose weight. They know. Everybody knows what they've got to do. But they're not doing what they know they should be doing to get the results they want. Right. And why is that?
Right.
It's because of the paradigm. So there's the knowing and the doing. And what stops you is that the knowing is in the intellectual mind and the doing is in the subconscious. And if you don't change your paradigms, they're going to be driving your life for the rest of your journey. So often when people want to change things, what they tend to do, they change their behavior. All right. So I want to lose weight, so I'm going to go on a diet, and I'm going to stick to this diet for 6 months until I lose all the weight that I want to lose. Right. All right. So they do it. They impose themselves a certain routine in their eating habits, in their training, and everything. But they did as soon as there's going to be a little bump on the road, or there's going to be a little storm in their life.
Yes.
I guarantee you, they're going to go back to their old ways.
Right.
Why? Because the behavior is the last link before the results. What creates the behavior? It's your feeling. Your feeling makes you it comes in French. Your feeling enhance your behavior.
Yes.
What enhance your feeling? It's your thought pattern.
Right.
So let's say each time you're eating this beautiful salad and you're going to train and you're telling yourself, oh my God, I just cannot wait to have these pasta and this bread with butter. And oh my God, training again. Okay, let's just go. So you didn't change your thought patterns.
Right.
So even though you're changing your behavior, the thought patterns didn't change.
Right.
So what I've been saying to some of my clients who want to lose weight, I'm saying you can eat whatever you want. There's no restriction. You want to have 5 bags of chip, have 5 bags of chip.
Right.
I don't mind.
Right.
But I don't want you to feel guilty about it. If you feel guilty, you're lost.
Right.
It's an addiction. People love feeling bad. They have this kind of addiction of being in anxiety and not being happy with themselves.
They crave it.
What?
They crave it. They crave it. Yes.
Yeah, because we have all these neural pathways that have been used for so many years. That's the way where there's a certain stimulus outside of us, and the neural pathways goes, the flow of thought goes, the way you feel it starts, and you think this is you. It's not you. It's not you. You are here to have a grandiose life. You're here to have fun. You're here to enjoy, to be light, to be laughing. That's why we're here for. We need to let go of this human dysfunction that has to do with drama and always putting ourselves down and always doubting and being in fear. We need to let that go. We can do so much better. So much better. So much.
Absolutely.
So what was the question?
The question was, who do you serve? How do you help?
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So we first identify what are the thought patterns that are in the way. Then we start we start bringing clarity in the mind. We talk about the laws of nature. We talk about because we live in a universe that is perfectly ordered. We can know at the second when we're sending a spaceship on the moon, we can know at the second close when it's going to land.
Right.
Everything is so precise. So when you start bringing order in your mind, you start picking up speed. Then we go into the law, the mental higher faculty. Then we talk about the self-image.
Right.
Your self-image is the first thing you need to work on. The self-image is, if you don't believe you can have success, you will never have success.
Right.
If you don't believe you deserve to win, you will never win.
Absolutely.
If you don't believe you deserve to be wealthy, you will never be wealthy.
Right.
So we touch base with that. We touch base with fear and faith and
Very well. It's
I'm bothered. Okay. The terror barrier. We talk about praxis, aligning your behavior with their. So we touch on a lot of things.
Okay.
But the most important things is that once people get to this next level, once they understand the whole process, the system, how it works, then when you get to this next level, you're going to want to go to the next one and the next one, and you'll know exactly what to do. And you'll do it without working hard. You will be working. You will be getting out of your comfort zone. You will feel unbalanced. You will feel that you're failing sometimes. But the perspective you're going to have on what is going on can be just, okay, it's a game. It's a game. Okay. It's just a game. When I'm playing Monopoly with my daughter and I cannot buy a land or put a hotel or whatever on the Monopoly is
Monopoly, you're right. Yeah.
Okay. So I just want to make sure it's the right.
Yeah.
I don't cry if I don't get the land that I wanted. I don't cry if nobody comes and pays me because they're in my hotel. It's a game.
Right.
And when I start the game, I'm not like, oh my God, what happens if I lose? If I'm not winning at Monopoly, should I be playing?
Right.
I don't know if I should be playing. What if everybody laughs at me? No.
Right.
So this is the perspective you need to get in. You need to understand that it's all about energy. It's all about the energy. It's your energy. What is your energy? It's how you feel.
Yes.
How you feel creates your reality. And how do you choose what you feel? You project yourself in your vision of the future. You don't give any attention to thoughts that are bringing you down. These are like the basics.
Yes.
The
Yeah.
basics. That is not taught in school.
That's the thing. It's not taught in school, but I love what you're saying, because you have to reserve the right to be surprised by life. Enjoy life. It can be fun. It can be different, but you have to make that choice that you want that. You want positive versus negative. The story of the wolves, there's two wolves, right? It's the same idea. Whatever emotion you feed,
Nourish,
right?
yeah.
You feed, right? So I really love what you had to say today. This is fantastic. Before we wrap up, I want to thank you, and then I want you to let people know where they can get in touch with you. But Livia, it's been a pleasure. It's great seeing you again. I always enjoy talking to you. You have so much passion when you speak, and you have so much, conviction in it. And it's great, because I honestly feel like there's a gap, and some people are aware and some people aren't. And for those that aren't aware, I would love for them to be aware. I think this is so important, right? So I thank you for coming on, having the time to speak to this. Sorry, you were going to say something.
Well, often people wait until something really bad happens in their life to wake up.
Right.
Like a cancer, or somebody close to them is dying, or a car accident, but you don't have to wait to completely change your life. And what is amazing about it is that now quantum physics, epigenetics, neuroscience are just proving what has been taught for years and years and years. It is scientifically proven. So it's not a random thing that happens to certain and not to others. They all have this power.
Yeah.
So what do you want? What kind of life do you want? That's the only question you need to ask yourself, because it's so fun being on this planet when you have all this understanding. It is just so fun.
It's a completely different experience.
Yeah.
When you're aware, it's a completely different experience. So where can people find you? Where can they get a hold of you? I'm going to leave some information.
Well, actually, I'm working mostly in French. I used to work in English as well, but it's so much easier for me to work in French. So I decided for the next year to go with where the flow takes me. So, but you can I have a Facebook page. I'm on Instagram. It's my name, Livia Duguay. I do have an English group because I used to coach in English. So if you wanna join my English group, it's called Cracking the Abundance Quote. If you speak French, well, I do these little trainings, these workshops that are really fun. I've got one coming up soon in the first week of December, but it's going to be in French. So I'm going to be back in English. But yeah.
I love that. Livia, it's been a pleasure. Always appreciate talking to you. I'll get in touch with you. I'll put the information there. For everyone that joined and participated this evening, thank you for joining Next Up in the Spotlight with our guest, Livia, myself, the host, Patrick Danqua. Appreciate you guys.
Thank you, Patrick.
You're welcome.
Have a nice evening.
You too. Take care.
Bye-bye.